Our lesson today comes from the Christ letters, as per usual. I want you to realize fully that I have only come to help you rid your mind of the undesirable, ego-driven thoughts and emotions presently controlling your mind. I'm also here expressly to encourage and help you, help you develop within your mind and your heart all of the love-based thoughts and emotions which will bring you into harmony with divine consciousness. It is my most urgent and loving purpose to bring you out of the gray shades of existence which you presently inhabit and into the sunshine of spiritual enlightenment that awaits you when you have conquered the ego drives, become unified with your soul and mother-father life, and moved into the harmony of unconditional love for all. Christ and Muhammad and all of the other spiritual masters and teachers, what do? They only emit loving, life-giving consciousness everywhere they go. And this is the ultimate spiritual goal. This is what we are all here to achieve on this planet. And I know for myself, when you get to this point, which you get to through constant meditation and intent, is you understand that you didn't need any of these things that you previously thought and believed. You truly, when the shift occurs, this mystical, amazing, enlightening shift that occurs, what has actually changed is your divine perspective. I know we've talked about this before. There was that, the angel that's covered with all those eyes. You can look it up. It's kind of creepy and weird looking. And when I was in the middle of a spiritual circle one time, this thing appeared to me in the middle of the circle. And I was like, dude, what are you? Because honestly, is creepy and weird looking. And it told me, and it's the most beautiful angel of them all. It said, I am the angel of divine perspective. Which eye do you need to look through so that you can look at it through the eyes of love? And every situation that we have in our life, and I know this from, working with my clients, is we all have this stuff, this junk, this internal stuff going on within us, and we make excuses for it, and we, believe in it. And when the perspective shifts, then the emotions around it and the beliefs around it and everything around it shifts. And you might think, if you're stuck in it, you think that, well, there's only one perspective because this is the way that it is and this is how I'm feeling. But that's not actually how it is when I'm working with clients. And this has been 11 years of taking people, let's follow it back. The only thing we're doing is shifting the perspective. And I'm not saying, oh, you believe this, now let's believe this other thing. My clients, these people, come to this conclusion on their own. They realize that they have been lying to themselves about a certain situation, or that they lied, to their inner self about something. Like, here's an example. Let's say you're a little child and somebody says something to you, does something to you, and now all of a sudden your confidence is low. You don't feel the same anymore. Well, what happened was at that time you believed something. You believed in something, and it shifted and changed the way that you had previously been believing, and it downgraded it. It lowered your frequency. And so when we do regression work, what we do is we go back to that and we see okay, well, maybe somebody said this, but was it true? Was it really about you? Was it about them? And we look at the actual facts of the situation, and then you can be freed from it. It shifts things and it changes things. So I'm going to read to you a list of negative characteristics, and these are set out on page 1 if you have the Christ letters. I want to read you them carefully, and I want you to watch your own reactions and your feelings as you go through them slowly. So this is a self-examination tool. This is the inner work you're doing. I want you to examine your mind. And is there still criticism, sarcasm, judgmentalism, rejection, denigration, enmity, intolerance, hatred, jealousy, aggression, violent impulses, thieving, falsehoods, double and devious dealings, and slander? And if you were to examine your mind and you were to go over that list, how does that feel within your body? Do you feel as though these apply to you still. How do you begin then to get rid of any of those that you know to be part of your consciousness? First of all, do not be too afraid or too ashamed to face up to them. Since you're a human being and you've been born under the influence of these characteristics of the ego. So don't be too afraid or too downcast to face them. The first step in total honesty is to write them down. And the second step is to take that sheet of paper and lie down and place it on your chest, closest to your heart, and close your eyes and reach out in thought to divine reality, your source of being, which you should now realize is your loving procreator, your true spiritual father, mother, which radiates instinctively and continually and consistently unconditional parenting love. Here's where the problem can come in, is when we are disconnected, which we would be disconnected from that list of all those negative things that I listed off there. When you have those within you, it would be impossible for you to truly experience the unconditional love, because you would be a mismatch to that frequency, which is the divine love. But if you're holding anger or resentment or all of these, negative things within you, then that love that's supposed to fill you up completely, and I mean completely, there will be certain areas of you where it can't go. Yeah, you can get it, you can feel it, you can connect, you can this and that. But if there's certain areas that are restricted because you say, subconsciously, no, I'm reserving this for my resentment. No, I'm reserving this part of me for that anger. I'm reserving this for the criticisms and the sarcasm. Then these are the places within you that you cannot accept that divine love, and therefore you will not experience it to its fullest, and therefore you won't understand it, and you would go on continuing around the other way of being, of how it's been this whole time. But what do you do now that you have your list and you've been really honest with yourself? That list is for you and no one else. Give time to quiet your mind until you feel that you're moving beyond your own consciousness. Then ask, in perfect faith, and expect an immediate answer, since you're operating in consciousness, for help in removing, dissolving, overcoming the false and unnecessary rejection ego drives in all the days to come. Emotionally, you make it clear to your spiritual father or divine reality, and therefore to yourself, that you want no more of these ego negatives in your consciousness. You ask for the inspiration and strength to make every effort to avoid or deny them from that day forward. And by following this course of action, you are creating a new consciousness form, which now begins to infiltrate and take over your present consciousness. Your intention now becomes your reality. When we pray in sincerity, our prayers are heard. And when we expect an answer in sincerity, and not only expect, but we believe and we know we are going to get an answer, we will get it. Now, if you find that you go into meditation, you've done exactly as I've asked, and nothing comes through to you, then what you need to do is ask yourself, and you will know, and you will know. Your mind will answer these questions for you. Ask yourself, what is it within me that is blocking me from being able to receive answers? Now, the answer, I don't know, is not an acceptable answer, because if you sit in meditation long enough and you really take yourself into that deep subconscious state, which you can do, depending on your practice level, within a couple of minutes of sitting there, begin to ask yourself these questions. What is blocking me from receiving this guidance? And I bet you will receive an answer that says, you need to forgive this person. Remember that incident that happened before? We didn't really deal with that. Remember how you're still pretty hateful towards that person and whatever happened over in this situation? And it is going to illuminate you. It is going to tell you, it is going to guide you to the answers that you are seeking. And then once you have the awareness, perfect. You're good. You're golden. Now you can step into this And you can truly begin to, one by one, take your prayer to divine consciousness and say, hey, okay, I'm really, really resentful towards this person still. I need you to help me with this. Take your request, sit in meditation, and ask, I need you to show me how to let go of the resentment. Maybe you need to show me the lesson that I haven't learned from it yet. Maybe you need to show me the why behind this. I don't know what it is that you need to show me, but show me what it is so that I can look at this through a divine heavenly perspective rather than the current hellish one that I'm living in, that's causing me to be in this low frequency, that's causing all this low frequency stuff to happen around me in this chaos to be in my life. And as you go through with deepest sincerity of seeking, like it says, seek and you will find. If you do not stop seeking, you will absolutely find. There is no way that if you are seeking, you will not find. Take your list and be thankful for all of these things. Be thankful that at one point you were resentful. Be thankful that at one point you were hateful. Be thankful that at one point you were jealous. Why? Because these were all showing you things that you needed to overcome. These were showing you your life experience and that, hey, there's these lows and there's these high frequencies and that you have a choice. It was showing you choice. And you'll know when you've made the choice that you just don't want to be in those hateful energies anymore and you choose to just be in the love. You're going to be like, aha, I see. This was the right choice the whole time and I just didn't know it. And your perspective and everything will change around that. But this is what I have for you guys here today. Sorry, it's nice and short, but I got a meeting I have to hop onto. I love you all so much. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.